Hey everyone, Captain Cube here. So some of you may have noticed I haven't posted for like 7 weeks because I've been kind of busy during the summer. So I just want to make a little video and kind of catch you guys up on what I've been doing all summer. So every summer I go to a camp called Culver in Indiana, and it's pretty much in the middle of nowhere. But like, don't get me wrong, it's like the coolest camp ever. It's kind of hard to describe. Best way I try to say it is it's like a military leadership camp. But take like the military with like a grain of salt. But it's super cool because it's actually the place where I learned how to solve Rubik's Cube. There was like some kid in my cabin who knew how to solve one, and I just begged him like to teach me, and like eventually he finally did. So these past 2 summers I've been actually working at the camp and had the incredible opportunity to teach a Rubik's Cube class at the camp where I learned how to solve Rubik's Cube. Like, that's just so cool. So like when I filled out the application, like you kind of fill out some classes that you could possibly teach. Like I said, like paddle sports, chess, and there was a box at the bottom that said other, and you could like type whatever you want. And then like of course I put Rubik's Cube, and like to my surprise they actually emailed me saying like, yeah, let's get a Rubik's Cube class in here. I'm just like, okay, let's do it. So that's just like the coolest thing ever. So now I'm trying to figure out like how to actually like lay out the class. So it's 50 minutes a day for 10 days. But I also could be teaching multiple classes a day. Usually my schedule is like, I teach 3 classes of Rubik's Cube for 50 minutes each day. So then after the 10 days, I get a new set of kids. And so my plan was to teach the daisy on day 1, and then like teach the next step on day 2, next step on day 3, and like so forth and so on. But then I'm like, oh crap, like I gotta get like all these cubes for the kids in the class. I really wanted the kids to keep the Rubik's Cube because like, you know, like Culver suggested that I should have them borrow them, like they come to class and just use the cube, and then, you know, they can't use one for the rest of the day. But like, I know, especially like when you're learning the Rubik's Cube, you just like need to keep practicing it. And like you'll want to keep practicing because, you know, it's like when you start out, like it can kind of be addicting to solve the Rubik's Cube. So that's something I really wanted to do, is like have the kids keep their Rubik's Cube. So then I hit up Speed Cube Shop. I'm like, yo, like we need like a bunch of cubes for this cubing class like ASAP. And like they're just so awesome. Like they gave me everything I needed for the class. They gave me all the cubes I needed. They gave me like the solve guides for the class, like that has all the algorithms on there, and like little cards to give them. Like it was just amazing. So thank you so much, Speed Cube Shop. Like that was awesome. But I also did bring my own cubes for the class because like I wanted them to like, if they didn't just want to solve the 3x3, I wanted to give them more options of like stuff they could do. But the class was just like absolutely amazing. Like it was just such a cool opportunity to be able to teach these kids like how to solve Rubik's Cube. And most of them are just so passionate about like learning the cube. Like they were just so eager to come to class. Like they would always come to class and be like, please teach me the next step. And I'm like, okay, I will. And like it was just so fun. And like, you know, I would always teach them like what they want to learn. So if they thought the 3x3 was like too intimidating, you know, I would teach them like whatever they want to learn, like 2x2 or pyramids, or like whatever they want to do. In this summer I even brought like the 10x10 GAN mosaic bundle, and like the kids just like loved that. I printed out like some pictures for them, like Mario and like Iron Man, and like pixelated it, and like they just love doing that because, you know, you only have to make one face. It was super easy to teach a kid how to make one face, and if that's all they wanted to do, then they have so much fun with like that GAN mosaic. I also taught a whole bunch of kids how to do 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, and nothing larger except the 14x14 because I didn't bring anything in between. And I actually did teach a kid how to solve the 14x14, which is insanely impressive because he came in with 3x3 knowledge, and I taught him the 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, and then the 14x14. So like it was absolutely insane. He did it in like 7 days. Like he would just do a little bit, and then come to class the next day, do a little bit, come to class. Like I give that dude mad props. It was awesome. And it's like, as much fun as teaching a Rubik's Cube class is, like it was a little bit difficult sometimes. I'd probably say the hardest part is just being able to like get to everyone who needs my help, right? Because like the whole plan is like to like teach everyone everything at the same time. Like today, okay, we're gonna learn the daisy, today we're gonna learn this. But like it just did not end up working out that way, because it's like people will learn stuff and like come back the next day being like super ready and super eager to learn the next step, while like some kids are like, you know, like still trying to like learn that step. So I kind of had to like teach everyone individually and one-on-one. I mean, which is great. I mean, like everyone just learns at their own paces. It was just a little bit hard to like get to everyone who needed my help. But they would just kind of like raise their hand, like if they needed help. Like sometimes like, you know, 4 kids raise their hand, and you know, one thing I kind of do is like just take their cube if they're ready to move on to the next step. I just take their cube and scramble it. I just go, do it again. And that kind of became a meme over the summer because I would just do it so often. but like not just because like I need to help other kids, like so they could get the extra practice in. Because like some kids just like want to learn one step and then move on straight to the other, but like I know getting that extra practice in of like nailing and mastering that step before moving on is really important. So that was just a little bit of a struggle, but I was always able to handle it. But one thing I did have a problem with this summer were kids breaking and stealing my Rubik's Cubes. So I would bring like a whole tub of my own Rubik's Cubes to class, right? And we were an outside class, but one day we had to go inside because of the weather, and like there were just so many people cramped in this like little inside space, like, and my class is one of them. And we still had to like teach class during that time, so I put my bin out, and like bunch of other kids from like other classes were coming over and like taking my cubes, and I can't see where they're going because like there's just so many people. And like, so that day I just lost like a lot of cubes. And I also lost a couple cubes from my GAN mosaic bundle, like the 10x10. I lost like 3 cubes from there. And like, you know, that just kind of sucks because like, you know, it'll never be like a perfect picture, so. But you know, I got a lot of cubes, so you know, I'll manage it. But one thing I actually got really good at over the summer was pattern recognition. Like if a kid raised his hand and needed help, I could just like glimpse at their cube and like know exactly what step they're on, and then probably guess what question they're gonna ask. I also got assigned a bunch of t-shirts and Rubik's Cubes during camp, which was super cool because like surprisingly a bunch of kids actually knew me from like TikTok and YouTube. Like, and if they didn't, they found out pretty quickly from other kids. So that was just like super cool to be able to like sign stuff like that. There was actually this one kid who like saw me and he just had his jaw dropped and just started screaming. Like it was so, he's like, no way, like Captain Cuber's working at camp. Like he didn't even know I was working. Like he just knew me from the internet, which was just insane. Some kids like even like bought my merch during the summer that I'm wearing right now. And that was just like so cool to be able to like sign my merch, the cubes, and just like all this stuff. Like I just felt like so famous there. But yeah, that was kind of my summer. The kids were fantastic. It was such a fun time being able to teach those. Like what a cool opportunity. I can't stress that enough. So I taught over 80 kids this summer how to solve the Rubik's Cube, and I taught a bunch how to do like more advanced Rubik's Cubes. I taught a lot of kids how to do more advanced algs on the Rubik's Cubes, and I just hope I changed like some kids' life with the Rubik's Cube, just how it changed mine. Yeah, make sure to check out my merch that just came out this summer on speedcubeshop.com. I'll also put that in the description below. It really helps my channel, just keeps me going, and just looks absolutely beautiful. Or like, as the cubers say, R-U, R-prime, U-prime. Because I just learned notation, so. Also make sure to use my code CAP whenever you check out with speedcubeshop.com. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Wait, what is this?
Wait, a lot more than that. Oh shoot. Feel like I'm gonna get killed doing this.
This song is kind of fire.
Oh. Oh,
Is
sorry.
it even? Oh, did you hear that? I don't give a shit about your. I don't give a shit about your mom.